Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your bonus reading. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Laura, aka Baby Curl Tarot. I am a tarot reader, astrologer, and root worker. And I do monthly readings for all the zodiac signs, as well as bonus readings for the top 3 signs that engage the most with my videos. So you are one of the top 3 signs this month. So big thank you for the support and for the engagement. I really appreciate it. And this is my way of giving back to you. So today we're going to do a love reading and a general message. We're going to go ahead and just start with your love reading. All right, let's get into it. Spiritual team, archetype cards. What messages do you have for the Taurus collective regarding their person? What messages do you have for the Taurus collective regarding their person? We had a couple of cards flip out, but I'm not going to take those. What messages do you have for the Taurus collective regarding their person? All right, first up, we have the athlete in the upright. So light attribute, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. I like that. Okay, so this person could be a professional athlete. They could just be somebody that enjoys playing sports for fun, or they enjoy just keeping their physical body in shape for one reason or another. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the alchemist, also upright, and it says transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Okay. This seems like a really mature person. This seems like someone who has probably been through a lot of changes in their life, especially their physical body. I'm getting they probably went through some major physical transformation. So maybe they were extremely overweight at some point in their life, and they really got into fitness and healthy eating, or whatever the case is, and completely shifted their body and lost a ton of weight. Okay. This is also someone who possibly is very spiritual. Okay. What else? This is also someone who has a little bit of like a wise energy to them. Um, they're very deep, which I think some people may see someone who's like a gym bro or a gym rat and think like, oh, there's nothing going on upstairs, but that could be the farthest from the truth. So this person is not only like physically fit and healthy, but they're also extremely intelligent and extremely wise for their age or whatever the case is. So they've been through a lot in life, and I think that has shaped them into the person that they are. And I feel like they're a pretty healthy person. Like they've done a lot of healing, they've done a lot of work on themselves. They use their experiences and their wisdom for the betterment of not only themselves, but for others as well. Let's get into the tarot and see what messages come up. Spiritual team, Cosmic Coven Tarot. What messages do you have for the Taurus collective regarding their person? What messages do you have for the Taurus collective regarding their person? Okay, let's see. What do we have? All right, Page of Swords reversed, Queen of Cups, Five of Pentacles, the Empress in reverse, and the Five of Wands. Someone feels a little like left out in the cold, I think. There's like a lot of unknowns, uncertainty, a lot of questions. You or this person may have felt like your health has been off a little bit lately. I feel like there's a lot of like internal struggle going on right now. So this could involve health. We do have the Empress card in reverse, which is Taurus energy as well. Taurus, Venus mostly, but Taurus and Libra energy. Between the Five of Pentacles and Five of Wands, it feels like definitely some sort of struggle. Could be an internal battle. Okay, maybe they're dealing with like health issues. This could also be like mental health issues. Doesn't have to be physical health issues, but I feel like someone may have like distanced themselves from you and you don't know why. So if your person has distanced themselves from you, I think they're going through something unseen, because we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this is something on like the mental level. Okay. And for someone who's like very emotionally intelligent and very emotionally mature, I think they know that when they are in a space like this, like in a mental space like this, they just automatically kind of walk away and distance themselves from people to handle what they need to handle. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we have the King, yeah, King of Pentacles reversed, Six of Wands reversed, Five of Cups, the Magician, and the Three of Swords. Oh, goodness. And we have the Three of Pentacles underneath all of that. Interesting. Okay, so take what resonates. Either this is you that distanced yourself from someone, or this person distanced themselves from you. And I feel like a lot of you guys feel like maybe you screwed up with this person, or again, vice versa. Maybe they feel like they screwed up with you. And they're nervous that, like, they missed out on having a chance with you. And they're really, really hurt about it. They're really, really sad about it. And they're trying to do everything they can to kind of like heal in order to get back to whoever this is. So this person could like, okay, so this person could come across as like they have everything figured out, right? They're the athlete, they're wise, like they're in fit condition, but you know, not everybody is perfect all the time, and not everybody always has battles or struggles that are visible to everybody else. Some people suffer from depression, some people suffer from, you know, different mental health disorders, or, you know, whatever. Or maybe they're just going through something that they don't necessarily feel like talking or sharing about with other people at this point in time. Um but yeah, it feels like one of you has put some distance between the other, and they might be afraid of you being mad at them, or you might be afraid of them being mad at you. But I feel like this is a pair here. The Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles is typically like a really good pair. But the King of Pentacles in reverse feels like someone doesn't feel very secure or stable physically right now. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I get this is more of like a physical. It could be mental though. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody, so take what resonates. For some people, it's going to be like a physical ailment, like someone has an actual medical condition that maybe like flares up and makes it really difficult for them to like be outside. For some of you, this could be like a reproductive disorder, especially if you are a woman or like assigned female at birth and you have, I don't know, fibroids, or you have like something that's distinctly connected to having a uterus and having like uterine disorders or things like that, PCOS, or, you know, something of that nature. It could be like debilitating. And it's very hard to explain to people that don't experience that. So it could be something like that, where it's very, very, very specific type of physical condition, medical condition. It could also be a mental condition, like I said, with this Page of Swords in reverse. But I feel like the Page of Swords in reverse could also represent the person that is kind of out of the loop, being very confused and like wanting to know what's going on. Um, and they're not really getting anything. They're not getting any information. You know what I mean? So I think both sides are a little hurt. Both sides are a little confused and unsure. But I think the person that distanced themselves from the other is also very, very, very like insecure about like, how do I go about even reconnecting, and like, where do I even start? Um, yeah, but I feel like one person in particular is very emotionally mature. So I think if someone was to come back around and be like, hey, this is what happened, this is why I had to distance myself, and X, Y, and Z, I think if there was a little bit of vulnerability and a little bit of a conversation, I don't think this could jeopardize the relationship. Um, yeah. Could be dealing with a Libra, a Gemini. Who else? You could be dealing with a water sign or another earth sign. What else do I have in here? I got Scorpio, I got Leo, I got Taurus. I got actually a couple cards for Leo. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm getting, Taurus, is I think if this is you, if you're the one that distanced yourself, I think you should reach out to this person and give them at least the opportunity to, you know, hear you out. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. I think you're doing yourself more harm by like isolating yourself from this person than you are just coming out and having a conversation with them. And if it's the other person that's not reaching out, excuse me, I think you just kind of have to let them come to you. I think even if you try and reach out to them, I don't think it's going to push them out of their shell. You kind of have to let them come to you, unfortunately. But let's get some messages from this other oracle deck and see what this person might want to tell you. Spiritual team, Hidden Truth Oracle, what additional messages do you have for the Taurus Collective regarding their person? What additional messages do you have for the Taurus Collective regarding their person? Alrighty, what do we got? It was my fault, but I blamed you. Ooh, something that came into my head before I even pulled that card was like, what if someone like flipped out on somebody? What if someone flipped out on somebody? Because this Page of Swords in reverse can also talk about immaturity, like mentally immature. So this person could have like taken out some things, maybe projected some things onto another person. Can I take what resonates? Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Someone got kicked to the curb in that particular storyline, and I feel like whoever messed up is trying to manifest this person coming back to them, but I feel like the damage was done. The damage was done. I also feel like the person who was at fault still has a lot of growing and healing to do. I don't feel like that person has completed their healing process for that. But what's next? It says, I remember every detail of that day. So there may be a specific conversation or day with this person or moment that could have been like a catalyst to this separation, or I don't know. I'm also getting like a very I'm getting a conversation, maybe a frustrated conversation from somebody. I'm assuming the person that is not getting the answers that they needed. Um, so there could have been like a very specific conversation that they think about often and plays on repeat in their heads. They're probably regretting a lot of things that they said. Uh-huh. Okay, and again, take what resonates. This could be you, this could be the other person, and it's going to be different for all of you. So, yeah, this person definitely like obsessively replays a moment in their head, and it's either like a happy one that they just don't want to let go of, or it's a bad one that they cannot get out of their head because they know that that was the moment they messed up. Does that make sense? At the bottom of the deck, it says, I wish I had treated you better. Mm. Mm. Okay. So again, two very different storylines. This one is very interesting. It was my fault, but I blamed you. I wish I had treated you better. It feels like this is the type of person that projected a lot of things onto someone else. And for what reason, what the purpose was of trying to do that. I mean, it could have been a control thing. Who knows? But I just, the regrets are very clear. I don't see whoever was treated badly coming back around. And I think that's something that either you or this person is going to have to come to terms with. Because unfortunately, some things just cannot be undone. Some things cannot be fixed. Can't be fixed with an apology. Nope. You just kind of have to let it go, unfortunately. And you got to learn how to learn from your mistakes and do better next time. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I'm not saying that time doesn't heal things, but at the same time, like, you can't force somebody to forgive you either or want to be back in your life either. So, Tauruses, that is a very interesting message. I'm going to go ahead and reset my board, shuffle, and get to your general reading. So I'll see you guys there in a second. All right, Taurus, let's get into your general message and see what comes up for you. Spiritual team, Millennial Tarot, what messages do you have for the Taurus collective at this time? What additional messages do you have for Taurus at this time? What general messages do you have for Taurus at this time? Make sure this is still on. Okay, because it turned off on me earlier today. I had to redo your whole reading. Not fun. All right, let's see what we got. The Programmer. All right, what's at the bottom of the deck? We have the Fireballer. Work hard, play hard, right? All right, Tauruses, that sounds about right. That sounds about right for you. Work hard, play hard. You guys could be in tech. You guys may provide services online, something to that nature. But you guys definitely work hard, play hard. Let's see what comes up in the tarot for you guys. Spiritual team, Cosmic Coven Tarot, what messages do you have for the Taurus collective? What messages do you have for the Taurus collective at this time? My nose starts itching. That means I'm on the right track. It's so weird how intuition like physically plays out in people. I've seen other readers where their noses, if you notice, some readers will do this when they're really channeling hard. I never thought I would be one of those, but apparently I am. The nose knows is what they say. All right, let's see what we got. We got the Queen of Swords. We got Cosmic Coven, the Sun in reverse. We got Three of Swords and the Six of Cups. Tauruses, you guys are just like, oh my goodness. Why are you guys so sad right now? You guys are really unhappy, or like you guys have been reminiscing on things, and like there's some pain here, there's some sadness, there's some disappointment, regrets, maybe even. I'm gonna look at the bottom of the deck because I'm not getting anything yet. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse again. I did shuffle. We have the Three of Wands, we got the Ten of Swords, we have the Magician, and the Two of Swords. Why? But why? The Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles together is a really interesting pair. Not something I would necessarily put together, but I feel like you guys, I feel like you guys have the cool ideas or the great ideas, but it's not manifesting as prosperity yet. That, or you're not being smart with what you are earning from the work that you do. I feel like, okay. So here's a warning for those of you that are getting like grants or getting like investors or people to like invest in what it is that you do. Be really careful about spending that money on some dumb stuff. Yeah, because that's gonna come back to bite you in the butt. Okay. So spend your money wisely. If it's meant for your business, spend it on your business, not on partying. Okay. But also, what else? Don't go spending everything that you make. So even if you're not getting investors or like money specifically for your business, like the money you do make off of clients and customers, that needs to be put back into your business before it goes into your bank account. Yes, I know that you need to make a living and all of that, but like don't go too hard. And for those of you that specifically love to be flashy and like buy nice clothes, nice cars, spend on nice food or trips and things like that, that stuff is going to have to wait. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff is going to have to wait. I don't know what's triggering you to spend your money this way or seek validation in that way, but um now is really not the time, and you're going to end up hurting yourself real bad in the long run if you keep doing that. You're going to have to make a decision, and you're going to have to be really, really disciplined about what you spend your money on. And make sure like you're spending on things that are worth it. Because who knows when you're going to get that next paycheck? Who knows when you're going to get that next big client? You don't know. You never know. Things can shift and change, especially like as an entrepreneur or as like a self-employed person. Sometimes the business is not always there, or the growth doesn't happen the way that you think it's going to. Maybe you get a couple of really big clients and you're like, oh my God, this is it. I'm on a roll. And then all of a sudden, like you don't get a new client for 6 months, 9 months, and you just put a down payment on a new house. And you're like, I definitely thought I was going to be making more by now. And now you're not. Now what do you do? So, some of you guys may be trying to like fill a void, fill a hole. I have the sun here in the reverse. I have the Three of Swords right next to the Six of Cups. This could be, I don't know, something from your childhood, like some sort of like nostalgic thing or like a old belief or pattern that like when you get money, you need to celebrate. Or when you make it big, you need to show the world that you're successful by buying something that shows the world that you've become successful. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. So I'm trying not to get too specific. But I don't know, it could be something as simple as like taking people out for dinners or, I don't know, buying nice clothes or jewelry. It really just depends on what it is that like you find as a symbol of success, whatever that symbol of success looks like to you. Especially like when you saw people that were successful when you were a kid, like people you saw on TV or in magazines, and you're like, oh, being successful looks like this. So I need to look like this. Sorry to break it to you, but that can come, sure. But at the same time, like, don't do it if you are not in a position to spend that kind of money. um, yeah. And I also feel like what you value is shifting. So while you may be unhappy and you think purchasing something or spending your money on something is going to make you happier about where you're at in your business or where you're at in life, it ultimately ends up not filling that void and actually creates a bigger hole or bigger disappointments, or you end up still being depressed a week later. Does that make sense? So spending your money on these quick fixes or these quick dopamine hits really isn't the move. What you do need to do though is figure out what your priorities are and put that money towards things that are going to get you more business or actually make you happy. So if growing your business and being successful in business means a lot to you, then invest that money back into your business, not into yourself right now. Prioritizing what's really important right now is so big, especially for those of us where, I live in the US and we're definitely headed towards a recession. So making sure that you are being resourceful and being prepared for those slower times, those harder times, is going to be so important. And you really got to decide, like, what is most important to me? Is it staying afloat, or is it looking like $1 million, or looking like I live a millionaire lifestyle? Priorities. Priorities, Taurus. That is what's going to be important for you guys at this point in time. I'm going to get off my soapbox, and I'm going to go ahead and close out this reading with a couple of oracle decks. Spiritual team, Untamed Elemental. What additional messages do you have for the Taurus collective? What additional messages do you have for the Taurus collective? And again, Tauruses, take what resonates. If this reading did not resonate for you, that's okay. It wasn't the message for you. If parts of it resonated for you, then okay, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'm not upset if it didn't resonate for you completely. That's fine too. All right. What do we have here? We have lava. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have elephant. Okay. So when I pulled your cards initially today, you guys got elephant, but it was for a completely different message. It was completely different. This is business related. The other one was like food and hobby and health related. So this is completely different, but I do remember what the elephant said. But let's get into lava and see what that one has to say. Because lava guides you to locate the fiery core within yourself. This period of change and transformation requires courage. It is important to access your internal magma and the deep desire that brought you where you are. You must hold yourself steady while old and unuseful paths and ideas are consumed around you. Once your molten courage cools, the past is simply a prologue, and the future transforms into a lush and fertile landscape, waiting for something new to take root and thrive. So some of you guys may feel like some of you guys are literally burning up like old, outdated belief systems about success and what that means for you, what's important, and what your priorities are. So it might be a little bit painful. It may be a little bit of a rude awakening. And it may feel like your world is completely upside down. But like this card said, once everything is kind of cleared out, you're going to see exactly, you're going to see the world as through a new lens, a new perspective. Those old ways of thinking aren't going to matter to you because you're going to have a whole new perspective on abundance and success and wealth and what that looks like, that you're not going to miss those things. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the elephant. Majestic Elephant is a reminder that more than one thing can be true. She asks you to validate your wild, dynamic, creative desires while also honoring your fears. She wants you to set aside linear thinking and welcome support from your ancestors. She courts you to honor two seemingly opposing truths with the same degree of respect. Free yourself from seeing the world through a binary lens and allow the fullness of your complexity to pour forth. This radical act of self-acceptance removes the obstacles that might have once seemed insurmountable. It opens the door to miracles. Most importantly, it paves the way to your wholeness. So again, it comes back to like how you view success or abundance and what that looks like in your life, how it plays out in your life. This can also talk about internal validation versus external validation. That is a theme that has been coming up a lot lately, things I've been reading about and messages and things like that. So I think a lot of us are kind of going through, especially in Taurus season, things tend to bring up self-worth and value a lot. So reflecting on what that actually looks like and not necessarily leaning into what society thinks or tells you you should look like when you're successful, and figuring out what it actually means for you, what it is that you actually value in this physical world and in this life, versus what society's trying to get you to buy into, right? All right, Tauruses, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the reading. Maybe share this with another Taurus if you feel like it would resonate for them. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future. If you want to see more content from me, I'm also on Instagram and TikTok, and you can find my handles below in the description box. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, week, month, whatever, until I see you next time. And I do hope to see you at the next reading. Bye.